Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a fantastic week so far, and welcome to December. Hi Fuang, hi Chayani, Domenico, good to see many of our members in the class. Lillian, Pranav, nice to see many students ready to learn. And in this class, we shall focus on IELTS speaking. Part 1, about communicating. This lesson, as usual, is presented to you by aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. These are the textbooks for these live classes. So they are really good to get, especially if you're joining these live classes regularly. We use the practice exams, the speaking interface from our websites. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. You can click this big red button that's just above my head there to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We are an official IDP affiliate, British Council partner. Those are the two organizations that do the administrative work for IELTS. IELTS is created by Cambridge, the ESOL Examination Board. We are an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. Okay, sounds good, Domenico. Yeah, I was wondering where that email is. So I'll be looking for that. For the general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. It looks like this. Again, click that big red button above my head. When you click that red button, you can use the discount code CLUB9. CLUB9 for a 10% discount from the premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Again, these are the websites we use as our support for the live classes, the practice exams, audio materials, the speaking interface, and much, much more. So we'll be using that a little bit later on. You can try it for free. We have apps for you to download and link to the websites as well. It's Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help in your app stores. Download it under More. You can link it to the websites. You can also follow us on Instagram to learn new vocabulary and schedules, IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS And if you have any questions, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, or you can also send emails to admin@aehelp.com. We've got 5 classes for you this week. So we've got 5 live classes. And then we'll have a new HD release as well. We've got speaking part 1 for you right now, and then tomorrow I will host a task 1 class for members and a task 2 writing class for subscribers. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that bell notification button so you know when these live classes are happening. You can join in on the fun. And then on Saturday, we have speaking part 2 and speaking part 3 for everybody. We also did release a new video recently. Check that out. I'll put this link into the chat. There you go. When you have some time, click on that and enjoy that lesson. All right, everybody, let's get into IELTS speaking part 1. So the IELTS speaking interview, again, it's 12 to 15 minutes. Make sure to practice full IELTS speaking interviews at home with teachers. You can do it on our website. It's very important to get the real sense of the exam, okay? So practice full length interviews before your exam, especially part 2 and part 3. Okay, those are the more challenging parts usually, but definitely a good idea to practice part 1 as well, just so you have a really strong start, okay? Keep in mind to speak professionally. This is not not a chit chat. And contrary, so I know that a lot of you are very ambitious and you really try hard to speak, but some people do fall in the trap to think that the IELTS speaking interview is speaking to an ESL teacher. So just to make sure that you don't think that way, you are not talking with an ESL teacher. What I mean by that is it is not their job to elicit English. Okay? The word elicit, and when you hear new vocabulary in this class, make sure to write it down. This word is a good word to know, elicit. Elicit means to draw out or to pull, to motivate you. Okay, so it's not their job to motivate you to speak in full sentences. Okay, so when you're speaking to an ESL teacher, they're like, can you tell me why? Can you give me a bit more information? Can you use some adjectives? Or can you say that again? Can you try to say that in a longer way? So the IELTS examiner is not an ESL teacher. Okay, they're not there to do that, and they're not going to coach you or give you advice. So you're really there to show your best English. If they ask you, what is your hobby? You have to think about it like you're saying it for the first time, and you are going to give the best answer that you've ever given to the question of what are your hobbies or what is your hobby. So it's not their job to elicit English, and you're not just having a chit chat, okay? So you are absolutely there to show your best English. Native speakers take the IELTS exams as well. Okay, it's an English proficiency exam. It's not an ESL exam. Keep that in mind, okay? And when you're speaking, very importantly, make sure to always give an answer, an explanation, and an example. Okay, keep that in mind. Use numbers to give clarity to your answers. What do I mean by that? I mean, if the question is how far is your school from your home, then if you say it is very close to my house, you need to give a bit more detail and say only about a kilometer door to door. Okay, so give numbers. Okay, a kilometer, 1,000 meters, right? Kilometer, right? Brar, Preet, good luck on your speaking exam tomorrow. Students, I am looking at the chat constantly, so I love seeing your comments. Eugen, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. I'm definitely feeling much better than I was last week. So I've healed from that terrible flu that was going around here. And I love the emojis, Eugen, every time. They cheer me up, let's say that. Okay, so keeping that in mind, okay? Numbers, full sentences, answer, explanation, example. For part one, make sure to speak and repeat as we go through the questions, okay? So speak and repeat. This is a speaking class, so don't just listen to me. I speak with a West Coast North American accent, of course, as I live in British Columbia and Victoria, very much the West Coast of Canada. And people in Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco, they kind of have Portland. They kind of have similar English. We all along the West Coast here kind of speak that Hollywood type English, so it's quite clear, it's quite crisp. But people around the world, because of course Hollywood and movies, they're very familiar with this accent. And the East Coast accent, so New York, Miami, Toronto, they have quite a similar accent to the West Coast, interestingly. It's a very crisp, clear English accent, okay? Kabiraj says, I like it. Yeah, and it's a good one to practice because it's a clear one, and most other English-speaking cultures understand it quite easily. So, so speak and repeat, okay? Not just me, but also your peers, especially when I get them to copy correct answers. And Make sure to copy questions as well as answers, okay? For those of you who feel that you have good English, try not to read the answers from the screen, but try to copy the answers from auditory skills. So from simply listening to what I say, okay? Auditory skills, okay? All right, Riyadh says, I clearly understand your speech. We don't say you're talking, your speech. Riyadh, I clearly understand your speech or your words. Dang Van is asking, teacher, do you think idioms is good in speaking on IELTS? Only if they are used perfectly. If you are not sure whether or not the idiom is applied perfectly in the context, do not use it. Idioms that are misused are extremely confusing and they will damage your score. So only use the idiom if you are 1,000% sure that you're using it correctly. If you're not, don't use it. Okay. If you use it correctly, they are valuable. If you use them incorrectly, they're very much damaging, okay, because they make the conversation very confusing. So careful with that. That was a good question. All right, Sandy, you are very welcome. I'm glad to hear that the videos are helping you study. All right, students, so IELTS speaking, go to the exam center 1 hour before your exam starts, not just 20 minutes before to register, but 1 hour before. Take some speaking questions with you. Talk to other students, other candidates who are there to do their speaking exam. Say, hey, are you here for speaking? Yes, that's great. Would you like to practice some questions with me? I have some here in my pocket. Yeah, sure, that sounds great. Okay, let's do it. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm really nervous. I just want to hide here in the corner until my exam starts. Okay, no problem. I'll go ask somebody else. So just find somebody, talk to them, ask some questions, get your brain ready, get yourself fluent, get yourself thinking in English. Okay, it's very important. The brain takes time to switch between languages, especially good speech, okay? So don't switch to English when you see the examiner. Switch to English before you see the examiner. Then eventually you register for your speaking interview 20 minutes before it starts. Make sure you only speak English to all of the people in the exam center, even if some of them aren't following the rules and they're not speaking English. You should always speak English. Now, then you go to the exam and you have a computer version where you sit and speak to an examiner through the computer like me, or if you have the chance, then do the face-to-face interview and you go into a room and then you meet an examiner like me who will start the speaking interview, and they will say, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. This is candidate number 72951479, and this is examiner number 5478. We are currently conducting this exam in Vancouver. The time right now is 14 o'clock. Let's begin. I'm recording this for marking and clerical purposes. To begin with, may I see your passport? Usually the first question, sometimes it's what is your full name? May I see your passport? Okay, Flying Dragon says, yes, sure, please take a look. Flying Dragon, that's okay. Again, I suggest everybody to really start with a full sentence. So really show the examiner and tell your brain that you are there to speak in full sentences. Okay, so Flying Dragon, even if you say, yes, sure, please take a look, make sure to use full sentences at least for the second question about what is your full name, okay? And be nice and fluent with these first questions. Don't make mistakes. Practice different ways to respond so that you sound natural, okay? Joaquin says, gladly, here's my passport that I used for my registration. Please take a look. Yeah, it's nice, it's simple, it's direct. I like it, Joaquin. It's a good, solid start, okay? Especially when you say it nice and fluent, all right? So here we go, everyone. Just repeat this after me. Joaquin has a good, solid answer. Make sure you say it fluently, clearly. Here we go. Gladly, here's my passport that I used for my registration. Please take a look. Okay, it's a nice, solid answer. It shows the examiner that you prepared, you're there to do business, and you're going to show your best English. Okay. Raquea says, yes, gladly. Here it is, the passport which I have used for registration. Please have a look. Raquea, it's not accurate. You need to include, here it is, the passport. We don't say here it is, which I have used. It's a bit awkward, okay? Keshav, sure, here it is. This is my passport, which I used to register for my IELTS exam a couple of weeks ago. Please take a look, Keshav. Finish it with a polite request, okay? All right. Domenico, certainly, here's my passport, which I used to register for this exam a few weeks ago. Please give me a moment to flip to the page with my credentials. Nice, okay? Yeah, often we're stuck kind of looking for like, which page has that picture again? So here it is. So you can say, just give me a second or just give me a moment to flip to the right page or flip to the page with my credentials. Those are all great, okay? Especially if you're doing that, if you're having trouble getting to the right page. Or if it's stuck in your pocket, especially if you're wearing jeans, you might be like, just give me a moment while I dig it out of my pockets, okay? Please just give me a second while I dig it out of my pockets. It's probably better to have it in your hands before you walk in, then you're not wasting time, okay? All right, so the next question that the examiner will ask you is, what is your full name? Again, a full sentence for this, everyone. So a nice full sentence. Okay, so let them know your first name, your family name, let them know what they should call you. Now, the reason you want to give them your given name and your family name, it's not the same in every country. So in some country, you start with your first name, then your family name. In other countries, you go with your family name first and then your given names. So it's not always clear to the examiner what your actual given name is. So it's good to clarify that, okay? Don't assume, never assume that the examiner knows what you know, okay? In a lot of English-speaking countries, the given names come first, but in many countries, the family names come first. So let them know what is what, okay? So Sushan Badel says, oh, that's not Sushan. Let's try that one more time. Okay. Sushan says, my first name is Sushan and my family name is Badel. Please call me by my first name, Sushan. That is fantastic. So that's again continuing at a band 9 as long as you have some good pronunciation, good fluency, good intonation. It's a band 9, Sushan. It's clear, it's direct, it's concise. Concise means you're not over speaking, right? You don't want to, say 3 sentences to introduce yourself, right? So just one nice, clear, long sentence, okay? Check it out. So Sushan, good job. Sushan says, my first name is Sushan and my family name is Badel. Please call me by my first name, Sushan. Very good. Now, Sushan, if you want to paraphrase first name so you're not repeating it, then just say given name, okay? So first name, given name. There's synonyms. It's nice paraphrasing. You're showing vocabulary right away. So first name is, and you can please call me by my given name, Sushan, okay? All right. So good. That's solid. Mooney says, my family name is Abdu Rashidova and my given name is Munisa. Please call me Mooney for short, okay? So Mooney, by your handle, I'm guessing that you often go by Mooney. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? And so what you should say to the examiner on this question, okay, is finish it off by saying, please call me Mooney for short. Okay, because it's your nickname, but even more accurately, it is the short version of your name. Because Munisa or Munisha, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but Muni is obviously short for Munisa or Munisha. Okay, so I would say my family name is Abdurashidova and my given name is Munisha. Please call me Mooney for short. And then that way I know, okay, I can just call you Mooney during the rest of the interview. All right? So if you have a nickname or if you have a short version of your name, let the examiner know. All right? It shows good English. By the way, in real English, so in real life, when you meet a new group of people or you're introducing yourself to a new person and you use a short form of your name or a nickname, that's usually how you do it. So you would say, you know, my given name is Munisha, but please call me Mooney for short. Okay? All right. So the examiner will say, for part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. What do you do in your spare time? Okay, your spare time is obviously your free time, your leisure time. Okay, sometimes we call it our me time. It's a nice modern expression, okay, for it. And importantly, what you want to do in the IELTS is use the question and paraphrase it as much as possible. Okay, so that's an important tip for everybody. All right, so use synonyms. Use descriptive language, antonyms, negatives. There are lots of different paraphrasing techniques, okay? Practice those in your speaking. You can find out about paraphrasing techniques on our website. Again, for those of you that missed the start of the class, I strongly recommend checking out aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. In a moment, we're going to be using those to speak with students. And you have an interactive course on those websites that will teach you different paraphrasing techniques, not just synonyms, okay? There are other ways to paraphrase. So learn to paraphrase questions. That's how you raise your lexical resource mark and give better answers, okay? All right, so Gautam says, let me show you Gautam's answer. So Gautam says for this question, whenever I have some leisure time, I try to indulge myself in some recreational activities and go for a brisk walk with my fast friends. Okay, Gautam, interesting answer. It's quite good. It's a bit vague. So remember what I told you at the beginning to use an answer explanation example. So this would be about a band 7.5 content. Okay, I don't hear your pronunciation, obviously, but this would be about 7.5 for content. Let me show you why. So it's quite a solid answer, but content here is about a 7.5. Okay. Now, if I break it down according to IELTS speaking marking criteria, okay, I would say that the lexical resource for you, which is the vocabulary, is about a band, let's say 8.5 even maybe. I really like how you use the term leisure time instead of spare time, so you're giving me a synonym. You're using indulge myself quite accurately. Brisk walk is done well, except there's a piece of missing information there for brisk walk. I'll show you what that is, Gautam, in a second, okay? Your grammatical range and accuracy is basically a band 9. I mean, it's very accurate grammar, and you're using this comma here even correctly between, for your writing, of course. You're using the comma correctly for the dependent and main or independent clause, so dependent, independent clause, or subordinate and main clause. Okay, so you're using that correctly, and the grammar is accurate. It's quite accurate, so it's good, all right? So your grammatical range and accuracy are a 9. Now pronunciation, I don't hear you yet, but you will have a chance to volunteer in a few moments. And then we can figure out pronunciation if I see you and if I have a chance to select you. So pronunciation, we don't know. I don't know. Okay, and your coherence and fluency, well, I don't know your fluency yet, because again, I'd have to hear you for that. But your coherence is about a 7, and the coherence is key. Okay, coherence means how clear you are. 7 is good English. Okay, so don't get me wrong. 7 means good English, good coherence. I can understand you and it's good. Okay, but there's a lack of clarity here. Let me highlight this a little bit different so you can separate the analysis from the actual answer that Gautam is giving me here. Okay, because obviously a lot of you want to get the best score possible. Okay, so Gautam says, whenever I have some leisure time, I try to indulge myself in some recreational activities and go for a brisk walk with my fast friends. All right, what do you think? So why am I only giving a 7 for coherence? How can I change this to be truly coherent? Now remember, a band 8 means very good, okay? And a band 9 means expert, okay? So if you're asking, well, why is he getting a 7? What's wrong with it? Well, there's nothing really wrong with it. That's why I'm giving Gautam a score of 7, which is good English, right? But it's not really a band 8, which is very good. Okay, so not 8, which is very good English. And it's not a band 9. We don't use band 8, band 9 English every day. We only use it when we have to speak professional English, okay? So band 9 is expert English. And interestingly, today we're dealing with questions on communication. So it's a good thought to keep in mind. What is an expert level of communication, not just English? So how could I make Gautam's answer better? Okay. Romelia, band 8 is not good. Band 8 is considered very good if you look at the descriptors. Okay. Yeah, Anahita says you should mention some activities. Absolutely. So if I take your answer here, Gautam, if I want to make this at least good, right, then I would answer with some activities, right? So I would change it like this, Gautam. Whenever I have, and always take a second to use capital I, whenever I have some leisure time, I try to indulge myself in some recreational activities like yoga or tennis. Okay, so what are those recreational activities, right? If you're speaking to me, that's the immediate question that I have is, what do you like? What kind of what is your recreational activity? It could even be reading. Reading can be considered a recreational activity. It means a leisure time activity. Okay, so and then I can keep improving this. So this could be like a band 8. So how can I make it even better? Okay. Brisk walk. Brisk walk means it's chilly. Brisk means it's cold. Okay. So, and go for a brisk walk early mornings with my friends. Fast friends is a little bit awkward. Okay. With my friends. So whenever I have some leisure time, usually in the evenings and on weekends, I try to indulge myself in some recreational activities like yoga or tennis and go for a brisk walk early morning with my friends. That makes a lot of sense, and that includes a good amount of detail. So that would be your band 9. Okay. Hopefully now you see the difference between a band 7, band 8, and a band 9 level response. Okay. Does everybody see that? Or Gautam, very good. Gautam says, or maybe even specify location, like go for a brisk walk early with my friends along the beach, because that's usually a brisk walk when you have a little bit of cold wind. Yeah, brisk means you kind of move quickly, you're a little bit chilly, it's cool outside, okay? So this is a band 7 versus a band 9. The big difference between band 7 and band 9 answers is often the context, the content. It's what you are saying, okay? Band 7 answers have to be quite accurate grammatically, and you have to be quite fluent. So when you go up to a band 8, it starts to be more about what you are saying, not just how you're saying it, but what you are actually saying to the examiner as the answer. Okay? Choose Lee says, in my leisure time, I hang out with my friends and play badminton. In fact, yesterday I went to play badminton for about 2 hours. That would be a band 9. Choose, because you're using numbers. It's very, very clear. You're giving me a good example. All right, so this is the answer from Choose. And there are a lot of different band 9 answers, so it's not like it's just one way to say a band 9 answer. Here's a shorter answer by Choose, which is a band 9 at this point. So Choose says, in my leisure time, I hang out with my friends and play badminton. In fact, yesterday, I went to play badminton for about 2 hours. Perfect. Yeah, that works. Okay, it's clear, it's accurate, it's detailed, it's using numbers, it's using synonyms like leisure time, it's using slang like hang out with my friends. So very accurate detail, play badminton, good vocabulary, okay, and accurate past tense grammar, giving me detail with numbers. It's good. Okay, it's a band 9. Romelia is asking, quantitative answers means to use numbers or percents, either or. Romelia, so numbers, percents, even other types of measurements like nominal or word measurements. So on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, Saturday and Sunday is quantitative because we can measure Saturday and Sunday. We know when that is. Or saying a month, like in January, I usually focus on my school so January is quantitative because we can quantify months, right? We know when it is, all right? So anything that gives a clear measurement of what you are saying. During winter, right? December to February, so we can measure, all right? Good question. All right, everybody, so I think that you now have clarity on how this works. And so to continue effectively or efficiently, let's actually talk to each other. So I will speak to our students, our viewers. I will ask you 1 or 2 questions, and then I will give you feedback on what you are doing. I will tell you your estimated band score for that answer or those answers, and then give you some advice. And if you have a question about speaking or about IELTS, you can ask me 1 question, okay, as well. And then we can give a lot of people chances to communicate with me, okay? So for this exercise, we will use the website because our website has a very good speaking interface, all right? Regular students, you should be logging in to your student accounts right now. You should be checking your microphone and your speaker to make sure it's set up correctly and that you have a good internet connection, especially if it's not your usual internet connection or if it's a dynamic or changing or VPN internet. So check it. Maybe practice 1 or 2 questions with another student. So that's what our returning students should be doing right now who know what's going on or what's about to happen. And for new students, so those of you who are like, I'm just checking this out for the first time and it seems kind of cool, I like it, what's going to happen here? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to volunteer for speaking. You volunteer, I will randomly select some students. First of all, you need to go to the website and create an account, okay? Clearly that's how websites function. So you have to create an account at aehelp.com. Okay, I will put this into the chat so you can link up to it easily. There it is, aehelp.com. Okay, then you log into your My Student account. Now you can create a free account. You can use this for free. Okay, if you're like, well, I'm going to come back to these live classes at least a couple times a week, I highly recommend a paid account. It's a one-time payment, it's not much money, and you get everything that you need for your IELTS. So then you check the student partner speaking. Make sure your microphone and browser are okay. Keep the window open so you can see the messages, and you will see my handle as master. It will be a blue envelope next to my name, and you can message me, I want to volunteer. And then I will ping people randomly. Let me show you this. Okay, we're going to get into it. So again, this is the website here. You can click on the red buttons to join the premium version, or you can click on the green button to try the free version of the website. Then you will be in your My Student account. In your My Student account, you will see lots of good content, computer-based practice exams, full interactive course, exam books, workbooks, study plans, and then you will see the student partner speaking interview practice. You want to click the first one, this one, the student partner speaking, okay? So click on that. If you see the red button that's above my head, that means you can register for a home-based IELTS exam, an official home-based IELTS exam. It's available in your country. All right, so you click on the student partner speaking. You accept that you speak politely and you focus on IELTS, okay? And then you will be in here and you will see that for students who are returning, you're going to see that we have new badges. So I can see that Liu, Tanya, Zoraida are premium students. Alfred's a premium student. Raquia is a premium student. Domenico is a premium student. So we've got these premium students in here. Romelia is a premium student. All right. So if you want to become a premium student, then sign up for the websites for the premium version of the course. All right. So you're in here and then you send me a message and I can connect with you. So let's connect with one of our premium students here, Alfred. Alfred, let's see how things are going with you. Alfred says, I want to volunteer. Are you ready? Okay. You will see me as master. Okay. And Alfred says, I am ready. Okay, Alfred, just give me 2 moments. Okay. Here we go, Alfred.
Hello, Adrian.
Hi, Alfred. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Alfred, can you remind everybody where you are from and why you are taking the IELTS exam?
All right, everyone. I'm calling from Indonesia, from the city of Tangerang, and I'm taking the IELTS course for my preparation because I plan to um, move to Australia someday.
Very good, Alfred. Thank you for introducing yourself. I appreciate it. And I will definitely help you to make that jump to Australia. Okay, so are you ready, Alfred, for some questions?
Sure, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. So welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner. May I see your passport?
Yes, this is my passport that I use for IELTS registrations last week. Please have a look.
What do you like to do in your leisure time?
In my leisure time, I enjoy doing some activities like playing guitar, listening to the music, and playing chess. Recently, I played
Let's
online
talk
chess
about
with
communicating. Who do you text with the most?
Well, most of the time I text with my family, with my dad.
Okay, I'm going to stop there, Alfred, and give you a bit of feedback, all right? So your speaking, I think, would be easily a 6.5, but closer to a 7, especially if you get going. Is this the first time you're speaking English today?
No, because uh, I'm like recently I'm speaking English with one of my friend in Australia and some of friend in UK also and in US. Yeah.
That is great. That's really good. The reason I'm asking is because you're speaking with good sentences, so you have good grammar, good information, but you're speaking a little bit on the slow side. So ideally, you want to speak a bit faster. So what I would like you to practice when you're speaking with your friends, when you're using English, is to push yourself to speak a bit faster. If you make a few more mistakes, it's okay. You will be able to fix those, but you want to push yourself a little bit faster. And you notice how, okay, I asked you that first question about your passport. Be very careful when you answer these first couple of questions that you're accurate. You said, yes, this is my passport that I used for IELTS registrations. It's better to use the singular. I know why you say registrations, because you registered online, you checked in with it. It's okay, but I would just say IELTS registration. And then you said last week, please have a look. So that was okay. But you want to be faster. Already it was a little bit awkward. You stumbled a bit. It was a bit slow. So you want that to be fluent. And it does sound like you're fighting off a bit of a cold or some kind of a bug as well. And careful with that, everyone, by the way. If you sound sick to the examiners or when you're checking in, they'll send you home. Okay? So IELTS is very strict about that. If you feel like you're sick or you're coughing, definitely just let them know and they will change your exam date. But and as soon as possible, let them know if you're feeling sick. Okay, Alfred, because if you go in like this and I hear you doing that, like I hear you going like that, Alfred, then I would say my apologies. I will need to end this exam for the safety of the staff and other candidates. Please come back when you're feeling better. Please let us know by phone or email. So so they will literally say that and they will send you home. So be really careful. Okay, they're instructed very strictly that they have to do that. Okay, so careful with it. Of course, if it's a computer-based exam and you're at home, they're not going to say anything, but it's probably still a good idea just so that being sick doesn't affect your score, right? Okay, but if you're doing computer-based in the exam center, they will still send you home. Okay, it's interesting. I've never talked about that, but that's the rules and they stick to the rules. Okay, so then I asked you about what you spend your free time doing, or what did you do in your leisure time? And what did I do, Alfred? I interrupted you, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably thinking, that Adrian, what a jerk. I can't believe he just interrupted me. Were you thinking that, Alfred?
I'm like, yeah. I'm not. I'm like, I'm trying to think about like broaden my uh, sentences, like playing chess. And recently, I'm
Yeah, I get you.
playing chess with.
I get you,
with
Alfred.
yeah.
And you should do that, but there's a limit, okay? So
Oh
the
yeah.
examiner has kind of a limit in their mind because they know that they have to conduct a full interview and they need to ask you all these questions. So just so everybody knows, then this is an interesting point here, okay? So reasons that the examiner will interrupt you, okay? Number one, reason you are off topic. Okay, so you're not. Then you didn't do that, Alfred. You were on topic. It was okay. That was not the reason. So that's one reason that they will interrupt you. You're off topic. The second reason that they will interrupt you is you are taking too long to speak. Okay, so it's too slow, or you are giving too much information. And that was what was going on for you, Alfred, is you're giving too much information. It sounded like you already gave me the answer. Like just yesterday I was playing chess with my dad, and then you just kind of kept talking like you were going to give more information. So keep those examples short, okay? So keep examples short,
Okay.
okay? Don't say, for
Actually,
example, and just
yeah.
keep it short.
Actually, I want to put a number there, but you interrupt. Mr.
Yeah, forget about it. If it's taking too long, forget about the number. Then just put an end to it, okay? Then I
Right.
said, let's talk about communicating, all right? The examiner is not a mean guy or not a mean woman. They're not there to be jerks. They just have a job, and they're really just doing their job. If you're sick, they send you home. If you're speaking too long, they interrupt you. So they're there. They are given instructions on what they need to do, and they're following those instructions. Then I asked you, who do you text with the most? And then you said, well, most of the time I text with my family, with my dad. And I could tell that you kind of got freaked out because I interrupted you. So when you answered this one, you're like, well, I don't want him to interrupt me again, so I'm going to keep it short, right?
Yeah.
But that's bad. So it was too short. So here you want to say, well, most of the time I text with my family, especially
Especially, yeah,
with
especially.
my dad. I text him 2 to 3 times a day about life and business. Okay, so that would be a full sentence answer. So even if the examiner interrupts you, don't panic. Don't suddenly start speaking in 3, 4, 5 word sentences. Just remember that the reason they interrupted you is probably because you were off topic or you were just giving too much of an example or explanation. So you want to be a bit more concise. Okay, so Alfred, let's try this again. Well, most of the time I text with my family, especially with my dad. I text him 2 or 3 times a day about life and business. Who do you text with the most?
Well, sorry. Well, and I text him to.
All right. Alfred, I think we had a little bit of a break in our connection there, but I heard you repeat it, and that was good. And then just one more tip there, Alfred. Do a lot of repetition work to speed up your language, okay? All right. Can you still hear me, Alfred? I think we lost Alfred just at the end there. But anyway, Alfred, if you can still hear me, I hope that you get better soon and pay attention to those points. Thank you for being my first volunteer. Bye for now, Alfred. Give Alfred a thumbs up, everybody, because that was great, right? And you have to be confident to volunteer, of course, and nobody likes being interrupted, but I'm just showing all of you, my job here is to give you a very clear picture of how the speaking interview works, okay? All right. Anahita, the response is fine. Not every response needs an example. Keep that in mind, students. About 50-60% of the time you can include examples, but you don't need examples for every single answer, okay? Then you might get interrupted as well. All right. Let's reach out to Eldho. Eldho, are you there? And then we'll keep going along with the questions, and I'll keep showing you some good answers. Thank you for the thumbs up for Alfred, everybody. Fuang, Chayani, Domenico, Chanello. It's fantastic. Okay, Eldho, here we go.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, Eldho. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing much better than last week. You probably can hear in my energy, my voice, that I'm a bit better.
Yeah.
Eldho, can you tell everybody where you're calling from and why you're taking the IELTS?
Okay, I'm from India and I'm taking IELTS to study abroad in future. So, yeah.
All right, good. Eldho, what's your target band?
Actually, I need to get at least 6.5 overall.
Yeah, that's usually the minimum for university application. Unless you're doing a bridge program where you do like half ESL, kind of half basic courses, then sometimes it can be a little bit lower, but it's best to get the 6.5. Now, if you need to get a 6.5, Eldho, you should be aiming for at least a 7.5. So always aim higher than what you need, okay?
Okay.
All right, Eldho, here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about communicating. Who do you text with the most?
Actually, I don't really like to text to people. However, I do like to text my cousin if I really need any help or know any information from him.
How do you usually communicate with your friends?
Sorry, what?
How do you usually communicate with your friends?
Could you repeat the question again?
How do you usually communicate with your friends?
Oh, okay. In my case, I do use an application called Messenger to communicate with my friends because I think that application is more easy to use.
Okay, just give me 1 second. All right. So let me give you some feedback here. All right. So your answers are about a band. You're around a band 6.5-ish. Okay. So you have some good fluency. You have what's called redundant language, where you kind of repeat yourself. And we can definitely adjust the content a little bit, okay? So let me show you what I mean. So the question is, who do you text with the most? And then you started by, actually, I don't really like to text people. This is a common mistake, Eldho, but it's one that you need to practice avoiding on your IELTS exam. This sentence, actually, I don't really like to text people. What do you think is wrong with that? If we think about communication, what's the problem with starting this way?
Is it because it starts with negative sentence?
Yeah, it's negative, and you're not actually answering the question, right? So who do you text with the most? Actually, I don't really like to text people. I didn't ask you whether or not you like to text people, right? The question would be like, do you like to use text messages? That would be the question for that answer. So it's off topic. And if you answer this way, the examiner will not give you much of a chance to continue speaking because they start to feel like you're not really answering what they're asking you. So in the IELTS especially, and this is, good communication, you have to really answer the question, not what you want to answer, but what you need to answer. Okay, so even though you want to tell the examiner that, well, I don't really use text messages, you need to give the answer that the examiner needs. Okay, so instead of all of this, you should just simply start with, I text my cousin the most. Okay.
Okay.
And then explain why. So I text with my cousin the most because he often helps me with my schoolwork. Yesterday, I asked him a physics question, and he helped me out. Okay. Now it's directly related to the question with good detail, explanation, answer. Okay, so just try this with me.
Okay.
I text with my cousin the most because he often helps me with schoolwork. Yesterday I asked him a physics question and he helped me out.
Okay. I text with my cousin the most because he often helps me with my schoolwork. Yesterday I asked him a physics question and he helped me out.
Okay. So, and if I want to make it even better, then I can take out one of these helps and say assists me, right? To avoid any kind of redundancy and really go for that band 9. All right. And then here, the next question was, how do you usually communicate with your friends? And then you said, in my case. You don't need to say that. I'm asking you about your case, right? Although we sometimes say I do use, in this case it's a bit unnatural. We don't need to emphasize here. So it would just start with I use an application called Messenger to communicate with my friends. If you really want to paraphrase friends, what could you say? What's another word to say friends?
Pals?
Pals?
Yeah.
Pals could be buddies, besties. Yep, there's a few different slangs in other ways. So pals, because I think this application, not that application, it's a this because you're talking about it now. So I think this application is easy to use. Yes, and here I would explain that. So I would explain I can attach videos and pictures. And then here, if you really want to add that piece about your texting, you can say, in fact, I do this much more often than texting. Okay. So that would be the correct way. Just try to repeat this after me. I use an application called Messenger to communicate with my pals because I think it's easy to use. I can attach videos and pictures. In fact, I do this more than texting.
I use an application called Messenger to communicate with my pals because I think it is easy to use. I can attach video and pictures. In fact, I do this more often than texting.
Nice. Okay, that's your band 9. That's natural, fluent, accurate, good range of vocabulary, grammar. Do you see the difference, like between giving a very direct, clear answer versus a kind of redundant answer that's got unnecessary vocabulary, repetition of words, right? So practice taking out those unnecessary words or expressions and really directly answering the question, and you'll do great. Okay, Aldo?
Yeah, got it.
All right, awesome. Aldo, keep up the good studies. Come back again, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye, Aldo. All right, that was Aldo. Give Aldo a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Yeah, Timur, you're right. You should absolutely answer how often, and twice a week or 10 times a day. Great, Raquea, thank you. All right, let's take another premium member. So Tanya, looks like you're a premium member. You've got the badge. Tanya, are you ready? All right, here we go. Hopefully Tanya's there with us. It's one of the reasons that we have added the premium badge so we can see who our premium users are. We like to contact with our premium users. Absolutely. Okay. Tanya, if you're there, let me know. Tanya says, yes. Okay, Tanya.
Hi.
Hi, Tanya. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Where are you calling from, Tanya?
I'm calling from Portugal.
From Portugal. And Tanya, you have access to the premium course, like all of the pieces of the course?
Yes, of course, and I like it very much. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks for that feedback. Tanya, why are you taking IELTS?
So I'm taking IELTS because I want to work abroad. I already finished my degree in dentistry.
Okay, so you're a dentist.
Yes, I'm a dentist.
All right, awesome. And where would you like to work? What's your number one choice?
Yes, I'm trying to apply to Scotland.
Scotland. Wow. Okay. Well, you're going to have to master the Scottish English if you succeed. It's a little bit different than
Yes, it is.
than my English. So I have more challenges understanding Scottish English than English from many ESL or non-English speakers. So they've got a very different accent for sure. All right. Well, let me help you with this. So I will ask you some questions and focus on these full sentence answers. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go. Let's talk about communicating. How do you usually communicate with your friends?
So I frequently use apps on my mobile phone, such as Messenger or WhatsApp, and I use it to send messages or even attach some files.
Are you a talkative person? Why or why not?
No, I'm a really shy person. In order to communicate more, I need to know better the person, and after I feel more comfortable, then I'm a talkative person.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, by the way. So that's a 7.5 to an 8. Okay, it's between good and very good, according to the IELTS. So that's how you can think about. Okay, my English is between good and very good, and that's a very solid place to be. So for going to another country, it's a good place to be. I mean, for dentistry, you obviously want a very high score on the IELTS exam, right, to work as a dentist. So, you know, your goal should be 8.5 if possible, okay? And also for a lot of countries, like for Canada, where I am, for the fast track visas, where you can get your permanent residency faster, they want really high scores, so you get more points for your application. And you can do that. I think with some more practice, you can do that. You have good fluency, you have very good accuracy, grammar, and your answer was, I use an application. Sorry, no, it's here. You said, I frequently use apps on my phone, such as Messenger and WhatsApp, and I attach files like pictures or video. Now, with your fluency, Tanya, you should definitely slip in a smooth example, okay? Mm-hmm. So yesterday, I sent a picture of my new computer to my mom through Messenger. Okay. So you should slip in that smooth example, because you're so fluent that with such short answers, your interview is actually going to be short. It'll be shorter than 12 minutes. So you'll end at like 9 minutes. So you have that extra couple of minutes to put in a bit more information. So just try this. I frequently put in your own example. You don't even put mine in, just put in your own. Okay. So mine will be, I frequently use apps on my mobile phone, such as Messenger or WhatsApp, and I often attach files like pictures or videos. Yesterday, I sent a picture of my new computer to my mom through Messenger. Okay, try it.
Okay. I frequently use apps on my mobile phone, such as Messenger or WhatsApp, and I attach files like pictures or videos. Yesterday, I sent a picture of an X-radio that I took from a tooth to my best friend, Sarah, that is working in Scotland as a dentist.
Wonderful. Okay, so careful not to overdo the example, but if I were your examiner, I'd give you a chance to finish that sentence. I thought that was very good. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So with your fluency, definitely put in those examples. All right. Here I asked you, are you a talkative person? And then you said, no, it sounded like you said shiny person.
Shy person.
Yeah, it's just shy person, right? It sounded like you said shiny, and I was like, shiny person. But I figured you meant shy. Yeah. So no, I'm a really shy person. In order to communicate better, I need to get to know the person, and then I'm a talkative person. Instead of talkative person, there's a really nice expression that you can use here. And then it starts with an O. It's a phrasal verb. It starts with an O, the verb, and the preposition is up. Do you know what the missing word here is that starts with the O?
No, overconfident, no. I don't know.
So when you start to become comfortable with somebody and talkative with somebody, what's the phrasal verb? We have a very specific phrasal verb for that. It's very common in English. And Us Art Hub is telling us the answer and same with Dui Fong in the chat. So sometimes look at the chat. Your
open up?
Yeah, your classmates will help you. Yeah, you open up to someone. So when you start to become talkative and tell people your deeper self, so some more private information, then you open up to the person. Okay?
Okay.
Like you can visualize it, right? You open up to that person. So here we go. Just try this one. No, I'm a really shy person. In order to communicate more, I need to know the person, and then I open up.
No, I'm a really shy person. In order to communicate more, I need to get this person better, then I open up myself.
Okay, know myself, and I need to get to know the person. So you said it correct the first time. You made a mistake the second time. Try that one more time, just the second half. In order to communicate more, I need to get to know the person, and then I open up.
Okay. No, I'm a really shy person. In order to communicate more, I need to open up more.
No, I'll do this last one. Okay, just the last part. Just repeat the last part. I need to get to know the person better, and then I open up.
I need to get to know the person better, and then I open up.
Okay, good. All right. Careful with the myself. Another place where often many people make this mistake, I hear a lot of Indian learners make this mistake, is they say, I unwind myself, to relax. I unwind myself. But we don't say I unwind myself. We just say I unwind. If you say I unwind myself, it literally sounds like you're twist it up and then you have to untwist. So just careful with that. It's awkward, okay? But overall, very good. Keep practicing. Keep focusing on putting in examples and using synonyms to paraphrase keywords, okay?
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, Tanya, that's really good. I hope you make it to Scotland and fix a lot of Scottish teeth.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, bye, Tanya. We'll talk to you
Bye,
again soon.
thank you.
Bye for now. All right, that was Tanya. Let's give Tanya a thumbs up. Shy and embarrassed are not the same, Anahita. They're not used the same. Be very careful. They're not interchangeable, okay? And how do you usually communicate with your friends is not about time. Somebody was asking me, like, shouldn't it be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks? No, it's not about time. Okay. Let's take another premium member here. Let's take somebody who we haven't spoken to in a while. Let's take Chinello. So Chinello, are you ready? We will find out if you are improving. By the way, you're all improving. As long as you're practicing, as long as you're learning, you're reading, writing, speaking in English, listening, watching English movies, you're improving. Our brain is a machine that is designed to learn. Okay, so you're improving. Sometimes it just takes a bit of time to realize that or to really feel it. All right, Chinello, are you ready? Yes. Hi, Chinello. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. And I'm not sure why. Chinello, in your My Student account, there's a little red button at the top right if you're on the computer. And you can contact us directly through there and let me know that you're having trouble, and then we'll troubleshoot. We'll help you troubleshoot why you're not able to connect, okay? And then next time I'll connect with you. So use your My Student account to contact us. Use the Contact Us button that's in there, okay? All right, Chanel, try that, and then we'll talk again. Okay, students, again, check your system, okay? Check your connection. There's a lot of moving parts in these chat software, so you have to make sure that you've got a good connection. Prakash, let's see what's going on. Okay, Prakash, are you ready? Prakash is another one. It's great to see so many premium members in this list. Petrus is in here as well. Good. It's nice to see and to know who is using the course. I'm always curious how that's helping you and how you're improving. Okay. Prakash, if you're still there, give me a sign. I'll give you a few more seconds. That's why I always text you back, by the way, everybody, because I need to make sure that you are still there. You haven't left for a cup of coffee or something. Okay, Prakash. Hello, Prakash.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Adrian. I'm good. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, yes. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
Actually, my name is not Prakash. It's my uncle's name, and he paid for me.
Ah,
So my
got
name, and my name is Supriti.
Preeti?
Supriti.
Supriti.
S-U-P-R-E-E-T-I.
Got you. Yes, that sounds much more feminine. I was a little bit surprised when I heard a female voice with Prakash. I was like, oh, I thought that was a male name. Suprini, I'm just
Actually,
writing it down.
I'm here in. Yeah, actually, I'm here in Nepal, and I was trying to pay from my account, from my debit card, but it was like I was getting some problem from Nepal. So my uncle is in Canada, and he paid for me. So it's his name, not mine.
I see. Clever, clever. Yeah, in some countries, international online payments are a bit tricky. You have to contact your bank. You have to say, I'd like authorization for international online payments. So it's a bit of a pain, but that's good. Supriya, you're here with me, and I'll ask you some questions. Why are you taking the IELTS?
I want to do my master's in UK, so I'm preparing for the IELTS.
I see. Why not Canada? Your uncle's there.
Yeah, actually, I was also thinking about the Canada, but maybe I need to wait for like approximately 11 months. So right now, UK will be a better option for me.
I see. Clever, clever. Okay, well, I can definitely tell that you're a solution-oriented person. Card doesn't work for payment in Nepal, solve that problem. Takes too long to do it in Canada, solve that problem. It's a good way to be. It's a good way to be. All right, that's called, by the way, everybody, that's called a solution-oriented person. Solution-oriented person, like that. Okay, it's a great way to be. Okay, well, let me ask you a couple questions, and then I'll give you some feedback, okay? Here we go. Let's talk about communication. Are you a talkative person?
Actually, I'm not really talkative, but if I feel if I feel comfortable, if I feel comfortable, or if my frequency matches with the second person, then yes, I open up with that person. Yeah, in that context, I am a little bit more talkative.
When is it difficult for you to talk to others?
Sorry?
When is it difficult for you to talk to others?
I feel difficult when I don't get a person in terms of the idea, in terms of sorry, I can't.
Have the way people communicate these days changed compared to a generation before?
Yes, in this cutting edge area, people are more into the technology. So before it was, people used to communicate when in face to face, and now these days people are this technology makes them easy to communicate. So yes, because of the internet, because of some facilities, technology is easy nowadays.
Okay, I'll stop you there. All right, I'll give you some feedback. Okay, so that would be considered about a band 6. It's a difficult job to measure based on these 3 answers because you're fluent, you have good pronunciation. It's clear for me that you have much experience with English, but these answers don't let me give you a fair score. So I feel like, you're even a band 7, but based on these answers, I can't give you a 7. Okay, because there's problems with grammar, with coherence, with fluency. There's problems. Even though you're fluent, you're getting stuck to express yourself. And I think it's because some ideas aren't coming to you. Like you're like, oh, what do I want to say, right? So you really have to practice generating ideas. For that last question about the changing communication compared to the past, you had some ideas, and so you were very fluent. Like you knew that, okay, in the past people communicated face to face. These days people communicate using technology, the computer, the internet. So you were very fluent. So that last answer was clearly a band 7, okay? The second answer I asked you, when is it difficult for you to talk to others? That was a band 5 because you just got stuck and you couldn't finish your answer. So it's like, okay, well, how do I judge you? You have a band 5, you have a band 7. Okay, let's take the happy middle and give you a 6 and off you go. Okay, so that's what's happening here. Okay, are you a talkative person? You said, and using is okay as long as you don't overuse it. Actually, I'm not really talkative, but if I feel comfortable, and then you repeat it, if I feel comfortable, try not to repeat yourself, okay? So instead, just take a little bit of a pause, and then you said, I open up with that person. Okay, and again, once you're fluent, you can add an example, right? Like when I met my roommate for the first week, I hardly spoke at all. But since then, we have become good friends. And I'm chatting with her all the time. Okay, so how do I do that? Like I literally just made that up, and I visualize it. Okay, so I think about you, Saprini. Is it Saprini or Sapriti?
Supriti.
Sapriti. It's a T. Okay, I got it. I'll remember it for next time. Okay, so Sapriti. So I just visualize it. I visualize you. It sounds like you're a young student, so you might have a roommate. So I visualize you with your roommate. At first, you're kind of like shy, like, who is this person? But then after a little bit, you're like, okay, we get to know each other. And now we're chatting all the time. So visualize it. Visualize the example, right?
Okay.
So let's try this. Actually, I'm not really talkative, but if I feel comfortable, I open up with that person. When I met my roommate for the first week, we hardly spoke. But after that, we are chatting all the time. Try it.
Okay. Actually, I'm not really a talkative person. When I meet some people,
look at the
I
screen.
get
Cheat a little
again.
bit. Look at the screen. Just think about it, right? But if I'm comfortable, I open up with that person, like my roommate. We didn't speak for the first week we met each other, but after that, okay, try it one more time.
No, I'm not really. I didn't just wait. Yeah. I'm not really.
I'm going to say it one more time.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody.
This one. Okay.
And this is not just for a Sapriti, okay? This is for everybody. So listen one more time and try it, okay? Actually, I'm not really a talkative person, but if I feel comfortable, I open up. When I met my roommate for the first week, we hardly spoke a word, but since then we became good friends, and now I'm chatting with her all the time.
Okay. Actually, I'm not a really talkative person, but if I feel comfortable, I open up with that person. When I meet my roommate for the first time, I hardly spoke at all, but since then we have become good friends, and I'm chatting with her all the time.
Okay, good. All right. So visualize it and practice building that fluency, because I think you have good English, so you need lots of practice to make use of all of that good English and build up that fluency, and then you'll definitely reach the higher scores like 6.57, and then you will be able to meet that requirement for the UK. Okay? So lots and lots of practice. Yes. How often do you use the course on the website?
It's my second class.
Okay, so you're just at the start. Okay, in your premium course, there's a study plan in the PDFs. So if you go to, I'll show you on the screen here. If you go to the third tab, then you'll see the study plans in here. Definitely follow the study plan. Follow the 30-day one. So do at least 2-3 hours each day. Okay, so that one there. Click on that, download it. Okay, and if you have any questions, like what should I do, then go to the top of your student account and click on the contact us right there, and then I'll give you even more advice. Okay, Sapriti?
Okay, sir.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you so much for volunteering. That was an awesome second day of studies. So good for you. Bye for now.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Okay. So that was Sapriti. Great job. Give her a thumbs up. Harjad, thank you for that. Nipa. Yeah, I could tell she was a little bit stressed, right? So, okay, let's take another person. Let's take maybe somebody who we haven't spoken to in a while, and let's take someone who's they just left. Interesting. That was bad luck. I was just about to click on them. Okay, let's take Ridham. Ridham, are you ready? Let's see if Ridham is ready to be with us. Here we go. Ridham, if you're there still, if you've been hanging out. It's not just premium students that we reach out to. We reach out to our newer students as well. We definitely encourage everybody to be a premium student if you're not. So we've got about 10 minutes left, Anahita, in the class. So lots of volunteers. But again, students, it's not just me that you can talk to. You can talk to each other as well. Now that you can see who's a premium users often come back here regularly, so you can reach out to each other. That's why it's so important for us to know who's who. Okay, Ridham. Hello, Ridham.
Hello, Ridham.
I can hear myself.
I can hear myself.
Ridham, I can't hear
Ridham,
you.
I can't hear you.
But I hear myself.
I hear
Huge
myself.
echo.
Echo.
Ridham.
Ridham.
All right, Ridham, there's something seriously amiss with the setup there, so you're gonna have to check that out. Okay, check out what's going on, and then contact me again. But it sounds like you've got your microphone feeding back into the audio that's coming out of your computer. So you're gonna have to check or your phone. You're gonna have to check what's up with that. All right, Chayani, one of our members. Let's reach out to Chayani. Chayani, are you ready? Hopefully Chayani's still there. Oh, Lamia, yeah, patience is key to all facets of life. Absolutely. It's very important to IELTS success, because Lamia is saying, sir, you are so patient. Of course, everybody needs a fair chance. Okay, Chayani.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Chayani. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Chayani, can you just tell everybody where you're calling from and why you're taking the IELTS?
Right now, I'm calling from Indonesia, which is right now I'm staying at University Dormitory in Surabaya, the second biggest city in Indonesia, and I'm aiming for the university enrollment because I want to transfer into Australian University, and I'm aiming band at least 6.5.
Okay, well, I think you'll get that just from how you answered this question. But you should even aim higher. Aim for that 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
You'll see. You'll see. All right, Chani, I'll ask you a couple of questions. Give me some nice full sentence answers. Are you ready?
Yes, totally ready.
Okay, great confidence. Good. Let's talk about communication. Have the way people communicated these days changed compared to a generation before?
Let me think for a while. The way people contact with each other have significant changes after 10 decades. 10 decades ago, people like to communicate with each other face to face, but right now they are mostly use technology such as handphone to chatting with another person in social media, just like Instagram or Facebook. Right now, I'm mostly contacting with my boyfriend in Singapore through Instagram.
If you could
But
improve communication technology, what might you do?
can you repeat the question?
Sure.
Because I'm
If
nervous.
if you could improve communication technology, what might you do?
If I have a chance to increase the communication technology, I would like to make some platform that make each users easier to contact with another people. Maybe I would like to make a platform just like an of okay, I lost my way. Sorry.
All right, we'll stop there and I'll give you some feedback. Don't worry about it. You were doing fantastic. Yeah, you'll get 6.5, no problem. I'd give you 6.5 for that. But you can do even better. I think you can get better than 6.5. You definitely don't want to aim for that because some examiners might be a little bit harder on you. Like some examiners might be like, oh, she said technology, not technology. I'm going to give a 6 for that. I don't care about pronunciation that much. I understood that you meant technology. So if you said technology, whatever. But some examiners are a bit more like pronunciation. So I'm much more about content. Examiners that have more experience, they're more about content, grammatical accuracy, coherence. Examiners are maybe a little bit newer to the IELTS. They maybe are a little bit more strict with things like pronunciation. The reason for that is you realize that if I can understand you, what's wrong with it? There's so many people that speak different accents and different styles of English. So there can be small differences between examiners, but usually not big differences. So you did a good job. You said, if I have a chance to increase the communication technology, repeat after me, Chayani, technology.
Technology.
Yeah, I would create a platform that makes each user connect easier with others. What do you mean by that? So you probably mean something like, I mean, better connections.
Yeah, with a fully connection.
With clear audio, yeah.
Yeah, with clear audio
and video,
yeah.
Right? Maybe I would make a platform kind of like Zoom. You know Zoom?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I frequently use for the university class.
Most people know it, right? I was kind of joking with you, but I mean, Chayani, focus on what you know, right? So as soon as you feel like you're about to say, I'm sorry, I lost myself, don't say that, okay? Don't say, I'm sorry, I'm lost, or I'm sorry, I can't finish. Just give yourself a second, say, and then as soon as you go, you visualize by what you mean by a good platform. And most of us will think of Zoom or WhatsApp as pretty good platforms. So you can say, kind of like Zoom or kind of like WhatsApp, and then finish. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try this. If I have a chance to increase the communication technology, I would create a platform that makes each user connect better with others. I mean, stable communication with clear audio and video, maybe like kind of like Zoom. If you could improve communication technology, what might you do?
If I have a chance to increase the communication technology, I would create a platform that makes user connect easier with other users. I mean better connection with clear audio and video. Maybe I would make a platform kind of like Zoom.
That's a lovely answer. Okay, you say it like that and you'll get a Band-Aid for sure. All right. So that response as you said it, the way you said it, is a clear Band-Aid, no question. So no examiner will give you a lower mark than an 8 for something like that. For the previous question, have the way people communicated, you did a really good job of catching that it's present perfect, and you said have changed. Okay. The one kind of part that put a smile on my face, even if I don't show you, because examiners that have lots of experience, they'll have a very kind of straight face. As you said, 10 decades ago. How many years is 10 decades?
10 decades from right now is 2012.
No, that 10 decades is 100 years. It's 10 times 10, right? Because one decade is 10 years.
Okay. I mean, I wanna speak 1 decade and then 10 decades.
Neither are correct. So how have the way people communicated these days compared to a generation? A generation is usually 20 to 30 years, so 2 to 3 decades. Okay, so think about a generation as 2 to 3 decades, so it's 20 to 30 years. Okay, and I was like, oh, that's a big generation. It's like great grandpa was giving birth to children. So 2 to 3. So you need to be careful with those kinds of mistakes, right? Okay. All right, but it happens. It's not the end of the world. As long as the rest of it is good, I'm okay. I'm not going to, give you. It's like I'll give you a 2. You just said 100 years. No, they won't be that harsh. But be careful, okay?
Okay.
All right, Chayani, thank you so much for volunteering. I love the confidence. Keep that going because you're definitely improving. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Sir Aryan. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye, Chayani. All right, students, that's my time for today, but you've got tons of people in here and you've got all these premium users in here too. So you can always ask them a question about the course. Hey, do you like it? Waste of money? What do you do? Premium users, thank you so much for supporting us, and good for you to recognize the value in our courses. And I hope you really enjoy it. If you have questions, remember, you can totally send me or my colleagues a question by that top. Oh, you can't even see it in the screen. Okay. Oh yeah, you can. Just right at the top there on the right. Students, we're using our website aehelp.com for this. Make sure to click the big red buttons to join. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. I will be back tomorrow with more IELTS, and I'll definitely be looking for our members tomorrow in the first class, right? The YouTube members, subscribers tomorrow. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. There'll be a subscribers class tomorrow as well for writing task 2, I think, task 1 for members. So come back tomorrow, check out the websites aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS students. The chat is shared between both, so you'll see each other on both of those because the speaking is the same for both for academic and the general. Thank you, members. Thank you, students. You're all lovely, lovely people. Keep up the great studies. Chin up. Moving forward. I'm Adrian, and I'll be back tomorrow to give you some more live classes. Bye for now, everyone.